Today we're going to speak about how to feel big emotions, how to feel it, how to process it, how to deal with it, and how to bring it to the light. And by the end of this video, I'm going to give you guys 7 steps that will help in processing these big emotions. And I think the first question is, why is this important? It's important because if you don't integrate all your emotions, if you live with some emotions in some areas of yourself buried deep within, you cannot fulfill your destiny, your purpose, become the person who you were made to be, because you kind of like only become a part of yourself, a part of who you are, if you don't integrate and if you don't bring out and deal with all these big emotions, because the emotional part is part of who you are, and it's part of the aspect that will bring you into your destiny and to help you to become the best version of you. So also today in this material and in this lesson, in this teaching, we're going to speak about the dark shadow and what is the dark shadow and how to integrate the dark shadow. Why is it necessary to do some shadow work? So let me just start by saying this. A lot of times when we hear the word dark shadow, a lot of people have this negative or bad idea about what it is. Now, I just want to tell you what the dark shadow is not. The dark shadow is not some dark spiritual practice that you're now all of a sudden busy with. The dark shadow is just dealing with and bringing to light some of the undealt with and stuck emotions that are keeping us from becoming the person that we can become. And one of the things that we can look at is, some things that we do to suppress or repress these emotions. A lot of it can be stuff like addictions, like over drinking, overeating, sexual addictions. It can even be stuff like, you have to watch Netflix the whole day. And anything that you kind of do to suppress, repress, and causing yourself not to feel these emotions. Now, remember, when you are born, and we've spoken about this, you are born kind of like, let me use the word clean, for lack of a better word. I don't want to use the word empty, because you're not born empty, but I want you to think about your subconscious mind. And as you are born, as a baby is born, the subconscious doesn't really have anything in it yet. Also, we don't have this conscious mind that can decide what to accept and what to reject. When we get born, the conscious part of ourselves still has to come out. But we have a subconscious and we have an unconscious and or a non-conscious mind. And these parts of us has desires. Sigmund Freud calls it the id. And these desires wants to come out. So even when a baby is born, they will scream, they will yell when they are hungry, when they are cold, when they are hot, when they are sick. And they themselves, they're not really conscious about why they're feeling it. And as they grow up, they start to become conscious of things. Now, I'm gonna put an image of an iceberg on the screen, and I want you to see the top is the conscious part, the bottom part is the unconscious part or the subconscious part, and I want you to see that the bottom part is much bigger than the upper part. Now, the thing about the subconscious is it runs 90 to 95% of our lives, and some of it it is parts that are very repressed, suppressed, and unfelt. Now, a lot of times we feel shame and we feel guilt for bringing this to the light. So what happens as you are born? Let's say you are born clean, as I said, for lack of a better word. Nothing has really been programmed into you. Now you are being programmed. Say for instance, you are being punished for getting angry. You are now learning that it's not okay to be angry around people. Or let's say you are being punished for crying. Now you are learning it's not okay to be emotional in front of people. So one person can maybe come to a place where they suppress the anger part of themselves and they become a people pleaser when they grow up. And when they become a people pleaser, there's this angry part that's never been dealt with, that's never been brought to the light, but it's still stuck. Or you maybe you maybe have learned that it's not okay to cry, it's not okay to feel emotions. So as a grown-up, the emotional part of yourself is not coming out, but it's still there. It's still suppressed. Now, one thing that I want you to understand about the shadow, and let's start with this. The conscious part of yourself is the part that you are bringing to the light, that you are aware of, you are comfortable showing it to people. The unconscious part is the part that you are keeping in the dark, and the shadow is the part that you are that you are unaware of. So these things are hidden, they are suppressed, and you don't feel comfortable about letting them out. But one thing that we have to understand, whatever we suppress or repress doesn't disappear. We just hide them. It's literally like the shadow that follows you everywhere you go. And you don't know why you feel this feeling. Sometimes you don't know why you are stuck and you are not reaching what you want to reach. So a lot of times when we speak about the dark shadow and the things that are buried beneath, a lot of times people think it's only the negative things that are buried beneath, or that's part of the dark shadow, but that's not true, because a lot of things are not negative, but we have been trained by society that they are not okay, and because we have been trained by society that they are not okay, they are buried beneath, they are undealt with. So say for instance, let's say depression, for instance. If you tell somebody that you are depressed, people might think, wow, you're going through this deep, dark thing, and there's something wrong with you, and there's something majorly wrong with your life, and you almost feel like you are wrong, you are shamed. Same with anger. If you say you are angry, if you say you are anxious, it's almost like as if something is wrong with you. But one thing I want to say is that, and not a lot of people see it this way, is there are no negative emotions. I don't want you guys to see emotions as negative anymore. Because we have this idea, we have positive emotions like happy and joyful, and those are the emotions that we want to show people, and all the other emotions like anger, depression, shame, guilt, these are the emotions that are negative, and we want to bury them. We don't want. So that's the thing that keeps you stuck. If you keep on burying and not feeling, not dealing, and not embracing those emotions. So every single emotion tells you something. And I don't want you to see I should only feel these happy, great emotions, and I should never feel these sad emotions, because the one is good and the one is bad. But every single emotion tells you something. And this is why it's important to bring every single emotion to the surface and not hiding it anymore. So why do people resist shadow work? The reason people resist shadow work, and the shadow work is literally bringing that which is in the dark, that which is in the shadow, into the light. The reason people don't do shadow work is because of the painful feelings that comes with it. A lot of guilt, a lot of shame. It causes you to feel some of the anger. It causes you to feel some of these emotions, and it don't feel pleasant. It doesn't feel pleasant. But the thing is, if we don't feel it, if we don't embrace it, if we don't bring it to the surface, if we don't make it conscious, we can never deal with it. So what exactly is shadow work? Shadow work is to become conscious of the unconscious. I just want to bring the iceberg up again. So you'll see at the top we have the conscious, at the bottom we have the unconscious. So just to bring the unconscious more and more and more to the conscious, that is what shadow work is. And then to bring love to those parts, then to embrace those parts. People normally think, because some of the emotions has been taught by society to be bad, I may not feel this, it must be cast away. And a lot of people think like, okay, I should get rid of anger, and I should get rid of guilt, and I should get rid of shame. Now, these are normal emotions that we are going to feel. We need to embrace them, feel them, and deal with them. That is what shadow work is. So now I'm going to give you guys the 7 steps to feel and process these big emotions. Before I get there, I just want to inform you again, if it's the first time on the channel, that I have this course on healing childhood trauma that I do with people. You'll see the booklet on the screen, or the material on the screen. If you want to do this course with me, please send me an email to albert@mindprosperity.co.za, and we can talk about it. I do it online on platforms such as Zoom and Teams, so you could be anywhere in the world and do this course with me. Also going to ask you, if you haven't done so yet, to subscribe to this channel and to ring the bell. Your subscription will really mean a lot to us. We are trusting to go to 1,000 subscribers. And if you believe this material can help other people, I want to ask you to share this video. That will be a great help to us. So number one, what is the first step to feeling and to processing these big emotions? Is you have to release your emotions. Now remember, we spoke earlier that these emotions are stuck, and you keep them down. And I want you guys to get this idea of a beach ball that you are trying to hold underneath the water, and you're trying and you're trying and you're trying and you're trying, and as soon as you cannot anymore, this thing is just releasing itself and going in different directions. But if you release your emotions, that means you bring it to the surface. Think about bringing that beach ball to the surface, and now all of a sudden you have control over it. And it doesn't just go in any direction anymore. You bring it to the surface, you deal with it, and now you decide what you can do with it. Then the second one is allow your emotions to communicate. And remember, your emotions communicate with you. They are telling you, something is wrong. This communication, always use this example of when you're driving in a car and you see the gas light is on. That's not a time to just think, wow, there's something wrong with my car is broken, let's put a patch on the gas light. No, it just literally means that I need to put gas in my car. And a lot of times our emotions tells us that there's something we're in need of, just like the car needs gas, or if the oil light goes on, it just means the oil needs checking. And a lot of times our emotions communicate with us like that. There's a part of you that needs to be taken care of. Then number 3, pay attention of recurring emotions. If you keep on feeling the same emotion about the same thing, that's another indication or another idea. So say for instance, you feel you don't love yourself, you feel ugly, and now you go on this diet and you lose weight and you get in shape, and now all of a sudden you still don't feel good enough, you still don't feel like you're pretty enough, and now you get new clothes, you buy the new clothes, maybe you feel okay for a day, but you still feel insecure, you still don't feel good enough. This recurring emotion is telling you it's not your body weight, it's not your clothing, it's not any of those things. It's something else. There's an insecurity within you that needs to be dealt with, because it's not something externally that's the problem. And with this, I do encourage people training, people exercising, people getting into shape and dress nicely. But if you do all those things and you still feel this recurring emotion, you need to pay attention to it. Number 4, embrace your emotions. Now, this is something maybe in culture that we've been taught, and this is where the childhood trauma comes in. You're not allowed to feel your emotions. You're not allowed to feel anger. You're not allowed to feel shame. You're not allowed to feel guilt. We bury it deep beneath, and we're not open to showing it. And when we show it, it's kind of like, I need to get rid of it. It's here and I may not feel it. But the encouragement and the way to really deal with it is to embrace it and to say, listen, you are really part of me. This is where integration comes in. And you are integrating this as part of yourself. And only when you integrate it as part of yourself can you really deal with it and heal from it. So therefore, it's important to embrace your emotions. And by embracing your emotions, I don't mean get angry and hurt other people and say this is just me embracing my emotions. That is an example of the part, and Carl Jung spoke about this, the part that you are suppressing. When it comes out, it does more damage than it ever could. That's not what we want. We want to get to a place where we embrace it to a point where we are in control of our emotions. Number 5, feel the emotions and the discomfort. And we spoke earlier that a lot of people are afraid of doing the shadow work, and a lot of people are afraid of bringing out these emotions because of the discomfort that comes with it. But what I want to say is, for you to heal, you have to understand that the discomfort is necessary. The discomfort is actually good. And a lot of times when we watch videos on emotions and read books about emotions or self-help books, we always want to read something and hear something that's going to make us feel good. But feeling good all the time is not going to cause you to heal. Sometimes you have to feel the discomfort, sit with the discomfort, heal it, and that's where your breakthrough is going to be. Number 6, express your emotions. And this is why it's sometimes good to go speak to a therapist or a spiritual leader or a trusted mentor to say, this is how I feel about something, and somebody that will talk you through it, and somebody that will understand, not somebody that's just going to try to get rid of it and act as if it's not there. Because if we act as if it's not there, I'm going to bring the iceberg up again, then we again put everything at the bottom of the iceberg, and we're not bringing it to the consciousness, and it will not heal. Then number 7, very important, practice self-love and self-care. And practicing self-love and self-care sometimes causes us, or it's necessary to get to a place where it's quiet, where it's still, where you need to practice it. You have to put off Netflix, you have to put off binge eating, you have to put off the things that you are using to numb your emotions. Self-love and self-care. And self-love and self-care also may cause you to get into that place of discomfort a bit, because you are bringing now to the surface the emotions. But instead of just shaming and guilting and condemning yourself for it, you get to that place where you embrace it and say, okay, I'm going to love myself, I'm going to integrate this, I'm going to take ownership of this, and I'm going to become the best version of myself that I can become. Thank you so much for watching. I do believe this information was valuable to you. From Mind Prosperity, we really love you, and we really want to see you excel in everything you do. Remember, if you do want to make contact, remember to send me an email, and also feel free to go visit our website, www.mindprosperity.co.za. We are looking forward to seeing you soon. Goodbye.